What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel with On 3. Today on the Hard Count, I'm going to talk about the Clemson quarterback room and DJ Uiagalelei. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a daily basis. Nick Brake doing the heavy lifting. You can help drive the show by subscribing to the channel. Now, if you're not following me on Twitter, I would recommend doing that because it's a great way for us to involve you in the show as much as possible. Case in point, we did a poll, and I would just basically asked, who's going to be the starting quarterback at the end of the year for Clemson? DJ Uiagalelei or Cade Klubnik? Now, I was surprised by the results we got. 55% of you said Cade Klubnik will be the guy by the end of the year in Clemson. And there's a couple of things we got to break down with this because this is coming on the heels of Dabo coming out swinging at ACC Media Day and basically saying, listen, y'all been disrespecting DJ. He's a freak. Said some other things we're not going to add on to that, but basically we just said, hey, DJ's the guy. Make no mistake about it. So the way that I'm interpreting our feedback is maybe DJ's the guy to start game one, but the feeling among the viewership, or at least who answered that poll, was that he's not going to be the guy to end the season. Now, I have another sentiment. I believe that Clemson's going to be really good in 2022, a lot of it riding with DJ Uiagalelei. But let's just take inventory. Then I'm going to tell you why I think DJ is the guy, ultimately finishing with a point about Dabo that I think you'll be interested in. So here's the deal. DJ Uiagalelei dropped 25 to 30 pounds this past offseason, came into Clemson as a five-star quarterback out of St. John Bosco, playing against some of the top competition in Southern California, in the country. Dude's a baller, okay? Dabo said as much. Dude is a baller. Now, stumbled a little bit last season. We're going to talk more about that, but he's proven he can play before. Then you got Cade Klubnik, who is a On3 consensus five-star out of Austin Westlake, also playing against really good competition, went to a high school that has proven they can groom quarterbacks. Cade Klubnik's got the juice. Now, the thought with him is we want to make sure he's college-ready physically. Came in at 179. Dabo said he's up to 195 right now. They're really excited about his progress. Now, here's the reason why I think DJ is your guy. First of all, like I said, he's proven it before. Now, in 2021, he didn't put a lot of great stuff on tape. There's some reasons for that, I believe, but he's proven before the dude can play. And he flashed at times last year, but against Notre Dame, he came in at Notre Dame, a number 4 ranked Notre Dame, and threw for over 400, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Talk about a high-pressure situation. They still lost that game, but not because of DJ Uiagalelei. The dude absolutely snapped on the road for where he was at in his career at that point. To play how he did should tell you a lot about DJ. Now, I don't believe that was a fluke. Some of you may. I don't believe that was a fluke. I think there were a lot of things that went into last season that were difficult for him. Look at his supporting cast. Look at what he had around him. There was nobody there that was going to take the top off the defense. They were figuring things out on the offensive line. Now, his decision-making wasn't great. I mean, more interceptions than touchdowns, that's never a stat that you want. But pair a offense still figuring it out with all the pressure that he had on his shoulders coming into last season, filling the shoes of Trevor Lawrence, seeing yourself on a Dr. Pepper commercial. I mean, all of these things just don't make for an easy first year in the saddle. And for DJ, if he can get back to what he looked like against Notre Dame, I don't think it's rocket science saying the dude has got a lot of ability. It's never been a question of ability for me for DJ. So much arm talent, but can he sync up and can they get the supporting cast for him to allow him to be successful? Can they get on the same page? Can they hold up their end of the bargain? That's important. I also think DJ is your guy because of what he brings to the table from an experience standpoint. Even more so, who else are you turning to? And that's not a knock on Cade Klubnik. I think Cade Klubnik is the future at Clemson. Again, I don't think that's a novel concept either. Cade Klubnik's going to be your guy and do a lot of great things at Clemson. But in 2022, does he really give you the best chance to get to the playoff? Zero knock on Cade Klubnik. I just told you, he's the future. But if you watch the spring game, game's still moving a little bit fast for him. He's just getting up to playing weight. He's going to be unbelievable in the future. But in terms of to get Clemson to where this defense and this team is capable of going, I don't think Cade Klubnik is your guy. He's going to be, but he's not this year. Then you look elsewhere on the roster, Hunter Johnson, 6-year senior. I think he's told you what he is so far. He's a great option, but he's not going to be the guy to win the ACC for you. DJ Uiagalelei, when he's playing like he did against Notre Dame, at Notre Dame, he's the guy. He can take you to where you're capable of getting. He's got to put it together, but he's got what you need under the hood, okay? Finally, this is the point that I think is most interesting. If DJ's not the guy, then Dabo's betting on the wrong dude. To some degree, this has a level of involvement with what you think about Dabo Swinney. Because some of you out there think, hey, Dabo's going to be Dabo, and he's going to live by the sword, die by the sword, which is his culture. He believes in a certain way of doing things, and he's going to trust in that to a fault. I think a level of that's true, but I also would say Dabo Swinney puts food on the table by how his football team does. His football team's performance in large part is going to be due to his quarterback. You think Dabo Swinney's going to put the second best option out there on the field at quarterback? I don't buy that. I think that is underselling tremendously Dabo Swinney's acumen. Now, to some degree, he is betting on DJ, right? Like there is some level of risk involved. And that's what, is there less risk playing a true freshman in Cade Klubnik? As long as Clemson is playing meaningful snaps, and as long as DJ is healthy, he will be your guy. Because he's gone through the fire, being a starter already. He's got the experience. He's shown that he can do it in spurts, in flashes. He just needs to put it together. He's the best option on this roster. As long as Clemson has something to play for, he will be the guy, and he should be the guy. The best bosses, the best leaders, the best coaches, no matter the arena, the best leaders allow for growing pains. Just a fact of the matter. For Dabo Swinney, if he is betting on DJ by allowing him to go through those growing pains to get to ultimately the best version of himself, that's going to allow for Clemson to be the best version of themselves in 2022. That's it for us here on The Hard Count. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter to stay up with every single thing we're doing here at JD Pickell. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.